Hi, good good evening, everyone. So it's been a long gap. I was busy traveling and working on various important projects. So let's start from where we left. Today I'm going to discuss about one of the very important soft skill, and this is known as the power of power. And I got during one of the events, one of my very close connection and a very senior guy, Mr. Israr Sheikh, presented this talk, and I'm fortunate and I'm thankful that he shared this kind of important and a very uh, relatable information with me, and I'm going to present this today. And I would like to give due credit to Mr. Israr because of his presentation and his work. So, this is power of power, as the name suggests. Uh, as the name suggests, power of power. Let's start with, if you recall, let me erase this. If you recall, in project management, we discussed about various artifacts. They were namely scope, time, cost, and we were calling them triple constraints, or we were calling them iron triangle or golden triangle. After that, the other constraints were, just a second, other constraints were quality, resource, risk, procurement, stakeholders, and at the end, integration. Now, if we take a quick look at this, all these three things, scope, time, and cost, are constant. If they are not, you better make it constant, because otherwise you'll not be able to work on the project. Quality is also constant because we defined the quality parameters right at the scope. Resource is variable, but our job is to make it constant, and we have a fair idea who is working on our team, and till what time they are available, and after which duration they will not be. And hence we do a leave management system. Communication is definitely uh, variable, and you keep a very close communication depending upon the kind of stakeholders you have. Risk variable, procurement constant, stakeholder variable, and at the end integration is constant. So the two important things which are variable are stakeholders and risk. One, two. Your whole job as a project manager is to keep things constant. If you see, the variable things are stakeholder first, and second is risk. For this, you have a risk register. You create a risk mitigation strategy. And then you have risk are of two types: positive, negative. Anything which can affect your project positively or negatively, the risk. Positive are known as opportunities, negative are known as threats. For this, you have certain techniques like avoid, transfer, mitigate, accept, and escalate. And then you have here exploit, share, enhance, and common to both are when you cannot do anything about it, you accept, or if you want to escalate to higher management. So this is in nutshell is what is risk. Now comes stakeholders. Stakeholders are humans. Humans change because of interest. Hence, the stakeholder management is an extremely important aspect of project management. Also, if not, it is an extremely important part of your personal or professional life. You have a family, you have a boss, you have colleagues. They are all your extended team, your internal team, your external team, your vendors. Stakeholder management is all about, you know, and who's stakeholder? Anyone who has a stake in the project, anyone who is getting affected positively or negatively by the deliverables of the project is a stakeholder. Now, why we discussed all this thing? Because what we are going to discuss now is this, which is power of power. All right, and power of power is this aspect of power is extremely important to understand the fact on how to manage your stakeholders. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, I got the power. Having the capacity or ability to act in certain ways or impose your will on others is power. Quite apt. The way you can get the work done, the way you can get influence, you can influence the masses, you can influence your team or team members, your stakeholders. If you are in a capacity or if you have the ability to influence their actions, it can be considered that you are powerful, that you have power over them, that you can influence them to take certain actions. Now, they are further divided into certain types. They are namely positional power, charismatic power, informational power, coercive, referent, expert, reward, and connection power. Let's understand them one by one. Okay, positional power is this is first type of power wherein you have a formal power that has been given to you by organization or by institution. For example, you being the project manager, you being a senior manager, you being program manager, another C-level executive. This is a formal power which has been given to you by the organization. Now, because it has been given to you by the organization, it can be taken away. Anyone can pull it back. Hence, if you see the second point, depending on the position, it gives you authority within the company. It also lasts if you remain in that role. The moment you left the organization, the moment you are no longer with the organization, that power goes away. Hence, this type of power is given and it can be taken away. This type of power is unpredictable and stable and unstable. Why? Because it can be given and it can be taken away. If you lose the title or position, your legitimate power can instantly disappear because people were influenced by the position you held rather than by you. That's the reason if you see most of the retired C-level executives, senior level positional members, they feel that the things have not remained the same because they are no more working with the organization and hence their title is gone. Hence their power associated with that title has gone. This is positional power. Let's go to second one, which is charismatic power. If you see in this picture, you have Mahatma Gandhi, John F. Kennedy, Schwarzenegger, Martin Luther King, Winston Churchill. So if you see this power is influence, influenced by their personality. This power has not been given by any external source. They have created this charismatic power because of their personality, because of their way of talking, because of their way to deal with the masses of people. Now, let's understand this. While charismatic power may or may not have any actual authority, because you are not given any position, charismatic people usually have a natural ability to persuade or inspire. To persuade or inspire. We are very much aware of how Mahatma Gandhi influenced masses during Indian Revolution. Similarly, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, George Bush, etc. Charisma relies on charm and personal qualities that others find attractive. And that is what the source of this charismatic power, that their personal qualities are so attractive that people get attracted to them, and these someone who has charismatic power can influence the actions. They have the ability to influence the actions. It is being also said that behavioral scientists have long reported that charisma is a set of skills that can be learned. Charisma is a set of skills that can be learned. Now, let's go to another one, which is Informational power. Informational power says how you manage information determines whether you win or lose, as given by Bill Gates. In this word, in the present scenario, informational power is everything. All the organizations are fighting for data, be it Google, be it Alphabet, be it Microsoft. All the apps there where we register ourselves, no matter if they are making doing business, good business or not, they have our data. And data, how you and from that data, what kind of information you extract, what kind of information you uh, you know decipher is what makes you influential, and that is what is known as influential informational power. If you see chat gpt, all the responses, answers are coming because that kind of data has been stored somewhere, and they are using uh, patterns to get the right kind of answer or most apt answer. Informational power. Now, with respect to stakeholders, let's understand this. Having control over information that others need or wants put you in a powerful position. Having control over information that others want or others need, that kind of power sets you in a powerful position. For example, any closed associate of the government, they have some kind of information which may be influent, which may be extremely important for press. In the modern economy, information is a particularly potent form of power. Absolutely true. The power derives not from the information itself, but from having access to it and from being able to share, withhold, manipulate, distort, or conceal it. What it is extremely important, this point is because the power is derived not from the information, but how, what kind of access you have, when can you share, with whom you can share, with whom you can withhold, with whom you can manipulate, distort, or conceal. With this type of power, you can use information to help others or as a weapon or a bargaining tool against them. This is informational power. Then you have coercive power. It may force obedience, but it can never inspire loyalty because it's being done through force. Coercive power is one of the most used in workplaces, yet it is also the least effective because you hold certain level of position, because employees are working and they have bills to pay, and they are working in your team, they are working in your organization, they will definitely do something which has been told to them. But are they doing it willingly? The answer is no. This kind of power is least effective. Why? Because it is external and is not coming from within. Coercive power is one of the most used in workplaces, yet it is also least effective. It involves using threats to force people to do your will. They might not agree with what they must do, but they do it out of fear of repercussions such as losing their jobs. Although it may work in the short term, coercive power creates unhappy, extremely important to understand, unhappy, disengaged employees, and is best avoided. It can also negatively affect employee retention efforts. The moment they get the right kind of opportunity, a right kind of working atmosphere, they will simply switch and move. Hence, this kind of power has to be used in very rare cases or through or for with partners who are external, not with your organization. Because when you're working daily with your team, you need someone who is extremely passionate or extremely involved about the work that you're doing. Next is referent power. This type of power is internal rather than external. This power depends on personal traits and values such as honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness. You have worked with someone, you know the personal traits of the person, you really value the kind of personality they carry. For example, honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness. Referent power can be a big responsibility. It can be abused quite easily. Someone who is likable but who lacks integrity and honesty may also rise to power and use that power to hurt and alienate people as well as to gain personal advantage. Hence, referent power has to be used very judicially. Only refer guys for senior positions with whom you have confidence that they will not act unethically when they are given power. And that is the whole essence of understanding power, that the power should be given to the right person, to the right personality, and with great power comes great responsibilities. This needs to be understood. Then you have expert power, which is knowledge, related with the work that you are doing. Knowledge is not power until it is applied, as said by Dale Carnegie. Examples: expert power comes from having both deep technical knowledge and extensive experience in your field of expertise. For example, if you have done extensive work in coal mining projects, in that case, you have an expert power for coal mining related projects. Myself, I'm coming from IT related project management. My expert power is project management in IT as well as telecommunications. When you are the expert in a field, people in your company naturally comes to you to benefit from your knowledge. Your expertise gives you credibility and people trust and respect your opinions. If you have come across, in teams, we usually have SMEs, subject matter experts, and they are the guys who have been with the team from quite a long time and they know inside out of the processes of the organization or the project that you are working for, and they are known as subject matter experts. And what makes them subject matter expert is expertise of their knowledge and experience in that particular project or process, and hence they have that expert power. So I recall when I was working with one of the telecommunications project with Tata, we have a subject matter expert in procurement. Whenever we were stuck with devices which we cannot ship during the timelines, we would go to them to get their expert opinion. And what they used to do, they used to reconfigure some old devices with the capacity that we are looking for, or they used to help us with the change of devices from any existing or old customer till the time we get a new device. So this is expert power. They can really save you at the time of crisis. The great thing about this power is that no one can take it away from you. Extremely important point. This kind of power is with you, whether you remain subject matter expert or not, whether you have been given that title or not, whether you remain with that organization or not, whether you remain in that project or not. No one can take this away. Experts must continue developing their knowledge and skills to maintain credibility. Extremely important that they should keep on working on their skills and knowledge to remain relevant and remain uh, and gain more expertise in their field. This is also one of the power which is known as reward power. Example, sales team, if you bring X amount of business, 10% or 5% or 3% is yours. And this is more like a carrot and stick approach where you are given a carrot if you walk few miles and stuff. Important, however, this is also not coming from within. So the moment you discard or take away that reward, that power is gone because no one is motivated internally to work or go extra mile. Hence, can be used with certain kind of positions or certain kind of job roles. One of them is sales. Another could be third party vendors. They do their work satisfactorily on time. They get certain percentage more. If they delay, the percentage is going down, and if they do not meet the requirements at all, there is penalty. So this is known as reward power. As it says, reward power means having the capacity to offer rewards or benefits in exchange for carrying out a task or achieving a result, which I just said. Third party vendors, procurements, partners, sales. This type of power may help achieve results, but it does not necessarily ensure the support or commitment of your employees because it is not coming from within. Then is connection power. In today's world, your net worth is your network. Building powerful relationships, not knowing, only mere knowing is not enough. You need to have a connection which is meaningful and powerful so that they can work for you and you can work for them when there's a need. This power creates influence by proxy and is all about networking. Connection power is based upon who you know. Because of that connection, the person is seen as being able to get things done or use the power of their connections. If you see, we have just covered types of power, position given to you by the organization and can be taken away. Charismatic, coming from within because of your personal or personality traits, leadership, and no one can take it away because it is coming from within. Informational power, where you can where you have the ability to share, withhold, manipulate, or conceal. This kind of information is known as informational power. Coercive, again, is forceful. People are doing the work because because they have a fear that they can lose their job. A referent power is based on reference, who you know and how you know and what kind of meaningful connections you have. Expert power is subject matter expert. You have a deep knowledge about the subject. Reward is carrot and stick. You do some work, you get a certain percentage. you don't do, you get normal, no incentives. If you do it negatively, you get fined. That is reward power. And connection power is the power wherein you are you have connections with the right people, and they can work for you at the right point of time, and you can also offer support to them when there's a need, and this is known as connection power. And at last, if you want to test a person's character, give them power. As I said, with great power comes great responsibility. If you want to test someone's true character, give them power and see how they perform. This brings us to the closure of this discussion of power of power. I hope you liked it. Thank you. See you again.